All right, guys. So that's our quick review of Ancelotti, of Arteta with the Arsenal and Everton situation. Now, with the exciting part, I think this episode was probably more exciting. I mean, the Chelsea result was good and well, but we are at the end of the decade. It's 2019. It's December 22nd now, and the decade is almost over. We have about a week and a half, about a few days left. And we decided to put it together our team of the decade. We were going to do the world team of the decade, but talking with the guys, we talk about Premier League all the time, and I don't know how many Premier League players will be in the team of the decade, except if you're Ibn, but that's another case. We will get to that later. I'll start it off. I have my list here. I sent it to Yaga, and we wanted to do this thing where Yaga has my list, I have everybody's list, so if I name a player and somebody steals it, we will know that wasn't initially on your list. And I'm looking at you, Ibn, because I have Ibn's list. Ibn has a lot of explaining to do. So I'll let Ibn go last. Okay?
Oh, my God.
I'll let Ibn go last.
Why not go first?
Ibn has a lot of explaining to do with his list. So I'm going to go first, right? My EPL team of the year, I'm going to go with De Gea as a goalkeeper. He's won the Premier League with the last season, Ferguson, where I think for a long time he was the best goalkeeper in the world. I mean, not in the world, but he's the best goalkeeper in the league. I think maybe 4 or 5 years. The last couple of years hasn't been good. The manager firings hasn't been good for him. The players haven't been good for him. But for a good chunk of the decade, he was probably the best goalkeeper in the league. So that's my goalkeeper. I went with a back three. I went with a back three even before Lampard put together a back three against Spurs. I'm just saying. We think alike, right? And Yaga, because I said to you before the team came out.
You did.
I went with Company because I don't know what else you can say with it. He's probably been the best, most consistent defender this decade. I mean, Terry played a bit of the decade, then Vidic and Ferdinand played a bit of the decade, and Van Dijk is, I'm not saying, but I wouldn't put them in there. I feel like Company's his prime years has been this decade. And I went to Azpilicueta. I don't think you can say anything about it. I think he's been the most consistent defender Chelsea has had. If you put him at left back, you can put him at right back, you can put him at center back. The guy can play anywhere. He's excellent. He's our captain, and you couldn't get any better captain than him. And I added Ivanovic, right? Now, Ivanovic is one of the players that I think he's an unsung hero. Ivanovic had a great career at Chelsea that I think people overlook. When Terry was slowing down, he can put him in the center back. You can put him at right back. I think he's an unsung hero. He scored so many vital goals. I remember him scoring the winner for us in the Europa League. He scored so many vital headers in the Champions League. He's just that player that he's consistent. I might be biased a bit on this pick, but I picked him over Van Dijk because I think Van Dijk is too new. He's only had 2 years at the top, and that's not enough for me to put him in the whole decade.
I agree.
Zabaleta had a shout. Kyle Walker was close, but I kind of went with the player who's won big goals and scored big goals and stuff. And I know Kyle Walker is one also, but I like Ivanovic. I went with Yaya Toure as a midfield 5. I think he's probably as complete of a midfielder as I've seen in the Premier League. He has power, he has pace. He can play as a holding midfielder. He can play as a center mid. And you can put him in attacking mid. He can pull strings to score goals. So, I mean, I think he's one of the best players that Premier League has ever seen, in my opinion, especially from a midfield. I went with David Silva on the right because what can you say? I mean, he came at Man City 2010. His assists, his game, I mean, you can't say anything more about it. He's an excellent player, and he's still playing excellently. Kante also makes my team because he's Kante. He's 2 people on the team. Kante came in at 2015. I added him because the impact that he's had. If you put him from 2015, leading Leicester to the league, 2016, he comes in, Chelsea wins the league. I know he's been here 4.5 years. That's almost half the decade. That's good enough for me because a lot of players on here didn't play in the top level for 10 years. They might have 4 or 5 years where they were elite, and that's why country makes it. I have De Bruyne also because with Yaya Toure, I think it's between him and Yaya Toure as one of the most complete players I've ever seen. I picked him as my player of the year for the season because I think pound for pound, he's the best player in the league. Because I know he doesn't score the goals like Salah does or Mane does or Aguero or Kane. I think pound for pound, if you put a whole bunch of players out there and you tell me pick one player to start your team, I'm picking De Bruyne. Because I think he will make your strikers, he will create so many goals for your strikers where they just have to tap it in. Nobody crosses the ball better than De Bruyne in the world. And I added Hazard. Now, I don't know anything else I have to say about him. The guy's a genius. He's excellent. Chelsea, if I want to be honest, he's the most talented player Chelsea has ever had. And I can make a case that he's the best player that Chelsea, not the best player for Chelsea, but the most talented player, if you guys know what I mean. Like, there isn't Zola had flair and stuff, but just the stuff that Hazard did, man, it was different class. He won the Premier League Player of the Year a few times and Young Player of the Year. Yeah, I mean, what can you say about him? And I went with the 2 strikers. I went with Aguero because he's been the most consistent striker this decade. He's been scoring goals since he landed in England, and he still scores goals at, 32 years old. He's still banging them in. So you can't go wrong with Aguero. I think he's Man City's all-time leading goal scorer, which doesn't say much because they don't have much history, but it's still a huge accomplishment for a player that has come in and just hit the ground running. And I went with Kane. It was a close call between Kane and Vardy because Vardy has won the league and Kane hasn't, but I just cannot overlook the number of goals that Kane has scored. I mean, the guy scores 20 goals every single year. Every single year he's scoring goals. I feel bad for him being on a team that hasn't won much. I thought he was going to move. His transfer was coming. The last couple of years, I thought he wasn't going to be at Spurs, but he's still there. But Kane is my player of my last player of the striker. So I'm going to go around and we can start with the Premier League, and I'll come back and then I'll do the world also. So yeah.
And can I say something about your team or no?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Before you go, yes. All you guys have a chance to say whatever issue you have on my team. I didn't say that. But so, who do you think I shouldn't have had in? Or who do you think?
Genuinely, I think De Bruyne. You know why?
Who?
KDB.
Okay.
You know why? It has nothing to do with his talent. It has nothing to do with his ability. I just feel like the same argument you used for Van Dijk, I could actually say the same thing.
Yeah, but I think KDB has been here for 5. This is 5th season. Van Dijk has been at the top level for only 2. De Bruyne was top level when he landed in England. Yep.
But because
KDB has also won the league. Van Dijk hasn't. Van Dijk has been on the top for 2 years.
Because I could say, when did he move to City? Because when he was at Chelsea, he wasn't that good.
No, at 2015. I'm not even adding the Chelsea season. I'm adding when he landed in England in 2015.
So wait, when he landed
at City for in 2015.
Was it 2015?
Yes. This is his 5th season.
It was like yesterday.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay, then that's fine. I don't have any problem with your team.
All right.
I thought it was like 2017 when
no.
came. So Pellegrini signed him.
Yeah, Pellegrini signed him.
Oh, okay. I don't have anything against your team.
I have 2 comments. I probably don't like your defensive 3. You had Company, you had Aspilicueta, and then you had Ivanovic. Personally, I feel that over the last decade, if I had to pick my top 3 defenders, it wouldn't be those.
You're gonna get your chance though. Wait, you can't just say
no. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I haven't said my. I'm just saying you have the chance to choose 3 players in the last decade to play your 3 defense, and I don't think that was the best 3. And I say that because Company, I'll probably let that pass. Ivanovic is a great player. Is he one of the best defenders over the last decade? For sure. Top 5, probably not for me. And so to have them in your 3-man defense, it's kind of interesting to me.
Okay.
Azpilicueta is a hard-working player. Probably the most dependable, defender that Chelsea has had on the right back.
Mm-hmm. No, or left
Do
back.
I,
He
do
played
I,
left back when we won the league.
yeah, do I think that there are other people who can do a better job than him in what he does? Absolutely.
Okay.
So that's my call. Yeah.
Okay, Evan, do you have any griefs of my list?
No, I think it's a solid team. We have some players in common, so I think it's good.
Okay. So who wants to go? Yaga, you want to go?
I mean, if you want me to, I can start.
Okay, Yaga, your EPL team of the decade.
Team of the decade. In goal, I have De Gea, and as we all know, I mean, he's been United's best player for the past 7 years, and he's actually proven that he's the best goalkeeper, and he's been the best goalkeeper in England for the past 10 years. I mean, he's had about 6-7 top flight years, and he's been, I mean, we all know that. We all know that, so there's no argument. If you feel like he's not, then you can say something, but I think there's no argument here for him being the best goalkeeper of the decade. And then my formation is a 4-4-2. It's a diamond formation. So I have the right back. I have Kyle Walker. Right, Kyle Walker. The reason I chose Kyle Walker is because when it comes to the EPL for the past 10 years, when it comes to the right back and left back, we've not had a consistent right and left back. We've not had that consistency in any player. And I think Kyle Walker was actually doing great at Spurs, and that's why when Guardiola came, he splashed that money on him to bring him to City. Yeah. He's won the league twice, and I think he will be the best fit for me. I wanted to go with Zabaleta, but I wasn't sure about him. The reason being that he only got his chance when Marquinhos got injured. So, and he's not he's a great player, but I think Kyle Walker does it for me. And then I'll go to left back. This is kind of surprising, but then as I said, in England we've not had. I wanted to go with Patrice Evra, right? But then Evra left United in 2014. Yeah. And that's just 4 years, so I can go with him. Yeah.
And it wasn't his prime also.
And then he came back to West Ham, but then he didn't play that much. So that's the only reason why I'm omitting him. But I went with Danny Rose. I went with Danny Rose. The reason being that I don't think there's been because we're talking about a decade, right? And he's been at Spurs since 2012. His first game against you guys, Chelsea, scored a phenomenal goal. Ever since then, he's picked up. And, he's not won the league. But I think when it comes to left back, I think he's been the best in England. Now we could argue about Robertson, but then he just started playing for Liverpool. So I can't include him in the team of the decade. So with him, that's my back four. No, my back two, left back and right back. And then I have Vincent Kompany. I don't know what to say about him. He's been the most consistent player, defender for the past 10 years. Yeah. And then with Kompany, I have next to him JT. The reason why I chose JT because JT retired in 2017, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2017, and I think he's been at Chelsea since since the early 2000s. But then the reason why I chose him was because
98.
From 2010 to 2016, he gave us good years of JT. And I don't see why I would omit him because arguably he's been one of the best defenders the Premier League has ever seen.
Yeah, but okay, go ahead. Sorry.
He retired in 2017, and 2016 he won the league with you guys, and he's always been that leader. He's always been so. I feel like pairing him with Kompany is just great for me. Like I just think I don't see anybody taking his spot. I wanted to go with Van Dijk, but then we all made the argument that he's just had 2 good seasons, not even 2 full seasons yet. Like, I think 12, 18 months. Yeah. So I can't really include him, in the team of the decade. And then in the midfield, I had to go with Conte. he's just been there for 5 years.
Yeah.
But for him to actually win the league, the Premier League with Leicester says a lot. And you could tell right after he left Leicester and moved to Chelsea, his absence was actually felt in the team. Him and Mahrez, I believe. So I'll have Kante in there. Now Toure, arguably the best central midfielder I've ever seen. He in the EPL.
Yeah.
The reason being that 2013-2014 season he scored over 20 goals.
Yeah.
That is unheard of. Like,
I mean, Lampard did that multiple seasons.
But Lampard, Lampard is Lampard.
Experienced guy.
That's why he's Chelsea's top scorer of all time. So Lampard is a whole different player. So I have Toure in there. I do have Eden Hazard in there too. We all know what Hazard is capable of doing. So there's no need for me to go back and forth on that. Then I have David Silva. I think he's actually underrated in a way. Yeah. But to me, if you're talking about top quality midfielder, he's been that player for the past 10 years in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So I'll go for David Silva. And then the top two, Aguero and Harry Kane. Yeah. I don't have to say anything about those players because you already said everything already. So, yeah, that's my top.
I have only one grief about the Terry argument, right?
Okay.
I love John Terry. He's the best defender this league has ever seen. Mm-hmm. But I honestly do not think, after we won the Champions League, right, the year that we won the Champions League, we finished 7th, and then he got injured. And then he was struggling and his last season, he played like 6 games in the league.
That was in 2017.
2017.
16, actually.
I just saw he wasn't elite. After 2013, when we won the Europa League, he was still there because he's John Terry, but I just didn't think that he was elite. I just thought that Ivanovic was playing at a higher level than Terry at that point. That's just personally me. Because if Ivanovic was our player of the year for a couple of years,
the only reason why I didn't include Ivanovic is because I'm playing a 4-4-2. And Ivanovic's best years were I think when he was playing right back.
Yeah, but he's capable. So I put him there because he's capable. Azpilicueta is capable. So
that's my reason why I didn't include him. I think JT has been that player. So
and also Danny Rose. I think that was your word.
That was. I was actually thinking about when he was talking about.
There's no way you can make a case for Danny Rose and not make a case for Azpilicueta because Azpilicueta played a left back for a year. Yeah. So I don't know how Danny
You didn't see the game today. You would have changed your mind about Danny Rose.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. The team of the decade. So no. The only reason, AZ is a great player. The only reason I didn't include him is because, his best year was when you guys won the league, but he was playing left back. So it was just 1 year. I can't judge him.
No. This guy has been in the league for a long time. Don't disrespect.
No. You don't know what I'm trying to say. Now I'm talking about the positioning. When you guys won the league, he was left back, right? But then he's always been right back ever since then. And I prefer Kawaka over AZ.
Yeah, but that's my only 2 griefs. I did not like John Terry. Yeah, I can let you slide, but
you don't think Danny Rose
is a terrible pick.
Yeah, Danny Rose is a hard one for me as well.
Yo, you would have.
I agree with Yaga though. I agree with Yaga. No, I agree.
The only reason why I didn't pick him is because he's not been the left back for a long time.
Yeah, but you can't.
You're talking about the decade, so the decade makes a difference here.
No, well, okay. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? He's not played. His favorite position, I'll say, is right back, right?
Correct.
Yeah, but he's capable. You know what I mean?
No, he's capable, of course. I know that. But then we're talking about somebody playing at that position for 10 years.
Correct.
That's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying Danny Rose is better than Azpilicueta. That's not what I'm saying.
So I guess our criteria is different then. Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about 10 years being at that position. He's not played a left back for more than 3 years, right?
I just think that the fact that you don't have him in there, he's the most consistent player. I
can't choose him over Kyle Walker. I think Kyle Walker is better than him.
Okay. All right, Eamon, go ahead.
All right, guys. So with me...
Wait, I thought Eamon was going to be last, though.
You have to critique.
Do you have anything against
Eamon, you're going last. So,
But does he have
your
anything to
segment
say
will be
about
long.
my players though? Does he have anything to say?
No,
Yeah,
I think you had a great pick.
Yes.
I think I agree with you on Danny Rose.
Oh, thank you, Evan.
So you have no problem with this team.
I don't. Like,
Okay.
listen, some of the parents is in my team too. Like, what you talking about?
So you're covering your own ass. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Two very great 11 players selected by Jeffrey and then Yaga. I think those are really, really great teams.
You have no issue with Yaga's team.
Oh, I do. Danny Rose, for sure, 100%.
Oh, okay. Outside
I like that.
So who?
that one
Because if
Derek,
the criteria is
who
to
would you have over Danny Rose? I left back for the past 10 years.
So over the decade, I feel like he has had the chance to play over a very long period of time. So in that context, I'll probably give you that.
That's the only reason why I included him.
correct.
Yeah,
That was
but
the criteria.
in terms of the quality he can produce in that position, I feel there are a few players ahead of him.
Yeah.
Give me an example.
I mean, Jeff has said a lot. I mean, there's Aspilicueta there. There are players like even Robertson in Liverpool. If you're comparing pound to pound quality, I'll probably choose him over Danny Rose.
Yeah,
Kolarov.
definitely.
Honestly, speaking of that, Kolarov at Man City, you cannot pick a Danny Rose over Kolarov. Come on, man.
No. How? Listen. I'm not saying he's the best left back. That's not what I'm saying. Now we have a criteria here talking about the decade, right?
Yeah.
Kolarov was out of City when? When did he come to City? He signed City in 2012 and left when?
Yeah.
He left early. So we're talking about a 10-year period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's better.
That's not enough.
What?
He came at 2010 and left 2017. That's not enough to put you in.
2017. I mean, I don't think so. No. Do you know what? Because the moment Guardiola came, he was no longer in the team.
Yeah, but he was.
And then it took them when he came. It took them 2 years before he kicked off. That's when they won the league with Mancini.
I think Danny Rose is a weak point. But go ahead.
No problem. I really don't think so. Over the period of 10 years, I don't think so.
All right, Derek.
All right. Cool. So the team that I put together, it wasn't like the 11 best players, but the 11 best players that could form a team and be the best over the last decade. That's like how I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
And so I put it here as my goalie for obvious reasons. We might all agree on Kyle Walker for right back. Okay, so the formation I'm saying is 4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I think it's from Ibn.
I can still hear it though.
Wait, mute it. Everybody mute. Let me see. No, Derek, don't mute. You have to talk. Everybody will mute except for you.
Okay. All right. I keep going. All right. So I have De Gea in goal. My formation is 4-2-3-1. I decided to go with that because that's kind of what gels with the players that I feel, can form this team. I have Kyle Walker on the right as the right back for obvious reasons. We've talked about, how consistent he is, how strong he is going forward, what he adds to the attack. He's a brilliant player, absolutely. Center back, I have Company and I have John Terry. So those two are my center backs. Company because I feel he has been the most influential leader in the Man City team ever since, they started the whole, rebuilding and what they have achieved. He's a wonderful player. What he does for Belgium, it's incredible. And in the league, it's outstanding. John Terry, I chose that with my heart and not my head. And I say that because, seeing what he has done for Chelsea and the contributions that he has made, I know that the tail end of his career, he wasn't top notch. But if I also look at this decade and the center backs that I had seen, he's definitely up there, top 5 for me. And so that's why I have John Terry there. He's a leader. This is going to be controversial. My left back, I put in Ashley Cole. Now, the reason I did that was, well, Ashley Cole played just about 4 years in this decade, I think until 2014 or something like that. And he's played other leagues and stuff like that. But if I look at his quality and then the things that he did in this decade over just the 3 years of this decade, I don't know how many players I can easily compare him to in terms of the quality and what he's able to deliver. I mean, at some point, he was actually the best left back in the whole world. And so, Jeff, you said something?
Yeah, but not during this decade, but go ahead.
Yeah, because, you know, the main focus.
Let him finish, Jagger. Let him finish. This decade, he was great in the past decade, but not this decade.
So the point I'm trying to make is, I mean, if we look at the entire, you know, holistically, the entire 10 years, he's probably not had, he has not had the most presence over the last decade, like a lot of other left backs. But then again, if I look at what he did in the first few years of this decade, I still would go for him as my left back. Now, so I'm playing a 4-2-3. So the two in the middle, I'm going with Yaya Toure, and I'm going with De Bruyne, Kevin De Bruyne. Yaya Toure because he's probably, I mean, Jeff articulated that, you know, very clearly. And you had him on your team as well, Yaga, right? Yaya Toure, yeah, he's top notch. There's nothing more.
I said he was probably the most complete midfielder I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely. He was the one midfielder that whenever I watched games and he was in there, I was just so scared. Whenever Chelsea played them, he was the one player that I wish he just got injured and just get kicked out of the team because I could not stand him playing against Chelsea.
Pace, power, vision, everything.
Something else. He's something else. It's just unfortunate that the managers that he has had didn't put too much faith in him because he probably should have, you know, been winning some big things in the world than like what we saw him do because he's outstanding, you know. Kevin De Bruyne, I put him there because over the last 3 years, I have not seen a more consistent and more talented midfielder than him, you know, and I can only see him do greater things within the coming 2020, no doubt about that. He gets injured and then the whole, you know, Man City team is almost in shambles. It just tells you how much impact that guy has on the team. So I went for him. For my, so 2 central midfielders, and I have 3 people ahead of them. I put Raheem Sterling on my right wing. I know it's going to be controversial, but the reason I put Raheem Sterling is like I've watched this kid, you know, grow through Liverpool and then get into the Man City team. I feel like he's a fighter. He is very talented. He struggled with showing the world how much impact he can make on a team in terms of goal scoring and things like that. But I feel like he's finally found his groove over maybe the last 2 years and shown us that he could be as good as any other winger that is there, you know. And so I'll go for him on the right, and on the left I'll put Hazard there for obvious reasons. I don't have to say much. And then in my central attacking midfield, I put Rooney. I was actually surprised that Yaga didn't have Rooney on his team, but I have Rooney there. I mean, I have not seen a player like him. Even after he had left Manchester United to Everton, that one season he was there, he was incredible on the team. Granted, he was the gem in the whole, you know, crazy Everton team, but the impact that he has had, counting from 2010 to maybe like a 2014, and what his contribution is amazing. It's just unfortunate that they didn't have an Alex Ferguson over the last years to get them going. I believe that guy could have probably even been the best player in the world if they had the right, you know, manager around the times that, you know, he was there. And then my forward is Aguero, and I guess that's also for obvious reasons. I was torn between Aguero and Kane, I decided to go for Aguero because an argument that, Yaga had made earlier on, if you're looking at the entire 10 years and how much contribution, what he has done, Kane is up there, no doubt. But within the last 10 years, Aguero is significantly, he is a good
defense. The whole decade.
Exactly. He's a significant distance away from Kane and that. I mean, no disrespect to Kane and his talent. So that's my 11.
Who wants to go first?
I mean,
I commend you. I commend you, yo.
I have a problem with Ashley Cole.
Yes.
I mean, we all know Ashley Cole has been one of the best left back ever, right? But then again, the criteria here is the decade.
Yeah.
And I don't think after, and you could make the same argument for, the same argument Jeffrey made for JT. After the Champions League,
yeah, everybody.
I mean, he wasn't the Cole we all know. But, I mean,
and my thing also with is he left 2014, but those last 2 years were not good.
Yeah, after the Champions League final, I think that was it.
It was not good at all. So that's my, the 4 years that you want to judge him on, only 2 was actually.
And then he left for AS Roma.
Oh, I don't know if that's enough.
On and off a little bit. And then I have one more problem.
Pick, I just wanted to say that. Okay, go ahead.
And then one more, Rooney. Rooney probably is probably one of the greatest United players ever. And ever since he got in the league 2005 until he left, I mean, he's always been a great player. But I don't know about him being, I think probably you could have replaced him with somebody else. But, that's your team. And Rooney, I can't argue enough because Rooney is a great player. But then I'm just surprised you included him in the team of the decade. But
my thing with Rooney is after 2011, 2012, when he scored 27, he never reached more than 20 goals. He scored 12.
But then one thing with Rooney is, that's why I like the fact that he included him as the attacking midfielder.
Yeah, but even that, Rooney never got more than 10 assists. So it's...
Yeah, but
so
Rooney,
the thing, right? My thing with the thing is, if he's going to have Rooney as attacking midfielder, he's looking for what? Assists? Rooney's not the best playmaker. You can't have Rooney attacking midfielder and not have David Silva. I'm sorry, but David Silva is a way better player than Rooney. That's just my preference.
Yeah, way better?
Yes, David Silva is
or are you talking about in general?
Player attacking midfielder than Rooney.
Of course. But he has his reasons, and I understand why.
Why he's wrong. I can't say why he's wrong.
No, you could. No. You could. I'm just saying I understand why he chose Rooney, but then I don't
understand why he chose Rooney.
You don't understand why?
I do not understand why he chose Rooney and he didn't choose David Silva. That's what I'm telling you. David Silva has been one of the best players the Premier League has ever seen.
But if you talking about goals and assist wise, like you can also argue that he's David Silva.
David Silva has 17 assists 1 year.
In 1 year. After that, what?
Oh, I can pull up the results.
Pull it up. I want to hear. Yeah, I want to. No.
Pull it up.
See, I have Silva on my team. Wait. Before you get anything misunderstood, I have Silva on my team.
So what are you arguing? Like, I don't understand.
I'm not arguing. No. Because he's saying he chose Rooney because of what Rooney has done over the years. And, you can't also overlook that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but
Silva in that position is better than Rooney because Rooney's a striker. But
I think this decade, Silva has been way more accomplished than Rooney has. So if you now have Silva in there, I don't think that Man City team was Silva's team for a long time. So I think you not having him in there, and he's an excellent player. I mean, he won World Cups, and I mean, what can I say, Euros and stuff. Evan, you have any problems?
No, I actually agree with him with some of the
This
players.
guy agree with everybody.
No, you know what? No, you know what? Because it's. I think that's why he told me goal last. Because most of the players that I do have like selected is like the same thing that he has, and I don't really know how to like justify what I have. So
okay, so what's your team?
All right, so my EPL team of the decade. I'm starting with, chill out. I'm starting with it was really hard for me to pick. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm gonna start with Peter Cech and goal. Why Peter Cech?
Wait. Okay, stop. Okay, finish.
Yeah. Why
For the
Peter
past
Cech?
10 years?
Yeah. Before he started declining, Peter Cech was like the man. when we went to Champions League final, like, listen, when we played against Reading and he got injured and he came back, this guy performed. This guy was like unstoppable. Like I think he kept most of like clean sheet to one point.
But that was in this decade,
2007.
That was the previous decade, bro.
That was the previous decade, but I still feel like in 2012, up to the time that he got transferred to Arsenal, he was.
When did he go to Arsenal?
I think 2015.
2014 or
15. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Now, Czech is a great goalkeeper, but we're talking about a decade. So
no.
Okay,
and that's my take. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I'm entitled to my opinion.
Go ahead.
Right, and the reason why I also picked Piszczek as my starting goalie is because of, again, his leadership skills. If I'm building a team, again, to your point when you guys are talking about experience and whatnot, I need someone that is also a leader. So if you're going to look at the backcourt, I'm going to tell you, I have Ivanovic for obvious reasons. He's a good ball. He can head the ball. He can defend. I have company. I have JT, and I have Ashley Cole. These are our leaders in the back. You cannot break them. They can win your game.
Oh, yeah, they could, but I'm going to emphasize on this. Team of the decade.
Yes, that's my team of the decade. I'm
going. You have Ashley Cole.
Yes.
JT, company, and then Ivanovic.
Oh, they're all outside of.
Yeah, let's show off.
Like you
better show off.
No.
All right, go finish your team. Sorry.
And then obviously in midfield I have Lamps. You guys have Lamps. I have Lamps.
Come on.
I have
We're talking about the past decade though.
Dude. Lamps played in Man City though. Before he
wasn't playing that much in Man City.
But listen, you guys are talking about.
Sorry. I didn't get your back four. Was that what
he said? JT, Ashley Cole, company, and Ivanovic.
Oh, okay.
And then Piszczek as his goalie.
Okay.
And then Lampard.
I told 2005 or 2019.
No, dude. Lampard.
No, Lampard. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Argue and tell me that he didn't play in a decade before retiring.
Huh?
No. Go, Eben, finish.
All right, go ahead.
Lampard and Wells.
All right, so I have Lamps, I have Conte, then I have Eden and Hazard, and I have Sterling. That's my midfield right there.
That's a whole lot of Chelsea players. Chelsea team of the decade.
And then Wells.
And then up front was really, really tight for me to pick, but I went with Wayne Rooney and Drogba. That's my
Wait. Wayne Rooney and who else?
Because Drogba played in the last decade. He played in this decade too. He played in the last decade. He played in this decade before retirement.
Oh, you had Mane at right, but I mean,
that was more than 11 players. I was just writing that out. It's
okay. Okay, took off Mane.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I go?
Yeah.
I have a lot of issues with your players. All right. So Drogba's best years in Chelsea was when he was signed until 2012 when he won you guys the Champions League.
Yeah, and
you're talking about a team of the decade. So are you taking out the 8 years? Because when he came back to Chelsea, he wasn't as effective as we know. Okay, he always came on as a sub.
Aguero.
Listen though.
But no. And I like your team. I like it, but I'm just. We have to focus on the decade though. That's what we have to focus on.
That's what I'm saying.
And you think Drogba for the past from 2010 to now was better than Aguero?
No, I know for obvious reasons that everybody's going to pick Aguero, and he deserves it. But I build my team based on one thing: leadership. I feel like if I'm building a team that could play for me today in the game, I would focus on one, leadership, and the two, the experience that we've been talking about earlier.
Yeah, I understand. But if we're talking about Drogba in his prime, nobody's going to argue that.
No.
Drogba in his prime. Nobody's going to argue
I have a quick question.
But what was your criteria?
Evan, I have a quick question.
Can I finish my point real quick, though? What was your criteria for building your team?
The team of the decade.
Build your team.
The players that have been performing on the top level for the past 10 years.
Okay. Yes. Eben, can I make a quick point?
Yeah, sure.
If we're talking about the team of the decade, can we think about it this way? And maybe that would help with Eben's argument, right? If you're looking at how good the player was within the decade and you choose his best season or his best moment within that decade, does he fit in there? That is what he is doing. And of course, if you're taking the 2012, year that Drogba won the Champions League, and he takes that year.
Yeah, but that wasn't Drogba's best year. Drogba scored like 12 goals that year.
No, hold on, Jeff. I'm making a point. If he thinks that is from what he did in that year, which is the best highlight of the player, he feels that trumps a lot of different forwards that decade, then so be it.
Correct. That's what I'm arguing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now after the EPL team of the decade, where it seems like everybody disagrees with everybody because everybody knows everything, we're gonna do the World Team of the Year, which was the initial plan, but I think we had the EPL because that's the biggest league we watch. So, with my World Team of the Year, I have Manuel Neuer at goalkeeper. I think he was one of the best goalkeepers in the world for a long time, and he's won the Champions League. He's won the World Cup. There's not much you can say about him. I have Dani Alves at right back because I think till this day he's still the best right back in the world. And as ridiculous as it sounds, this guy is evergreen. I saw him in Copa America. He was the guy stringing all the attacks from right back. Excellent player, and he's still the best player in the at right back for me. Center backs, I went with Ramos because, what can you say?
You can't argue that.
3 Champions Leagues. He's won the World Cup. 4 Champions Leagues, 3 in a row. He's won the World Cup. He won the Euros. He's an elite player. And I had Company. Now, that was the one player that I was like, I'm not sure, but I just think that Company was an excellent player, man. Even though he hasn't won the Champions League yet. Yes, okay. Even though he hasn't won the Champions League yet, he won Premier Leagues in a tough league, man. The Premier League is not easy, and he was an elite player for a long time. So I went with Company. I had Chiellini was close and Godin was close, but I kind of went with the guy that has played and won leagues at a tougher league, I think, for me. And then at left back, I went with Marcelo. What can you say? The guy is still elite. For the long time, these guys were amazing players. So that Marcelo was my left back. Midfield, another controversial one. I had Yaya Toure in there. Now, I put Yaya Toure again because I still think this guy was amazing. And I know you guys agree with me, but this guy was an elite talent, man. This guy was incredible on his day. He had like Derek said, Yaga, you said that it's too bad that he didn't have a long, maybe a whole 10 years of his prime. But when it came to, on his day, he was unplayable, an incredible player. And then I have Iniesta. Can you say the guy's a genius? He's incredible. I have a midfield 3, by the way. Iniesta on the left for me. World Cups, Champions Leagues, what can you say? And then I have Modric with Iniesta, another excellent player, very dynamic, clever player. His career just took a huge leap when he went to Real Madrid. Even though they had Kaká and all that stuff, he still held his ground and kept the position. So that's my midfield. And attacking-wise, I think it has to be the same, unless Ibn has a different case. It's Ronaldo on the left, it's Messi on the right, and as striker, there's a lot of players. Aguero had a chance. Aguero had a chance. Lewandowski had a chance. But I went with Suarez because he's incredible. Like Suarez, you can't say anything about it. Does anybody have a problem with my team?
Yes.
Can you go over the list again?
So I have Neuer, Company, Ramos center back. I have Dani Alves right back. I have Marcelo left back. I have Yaya Toure, Iniesta, and Modric in the midfield. And I have Ronaldo on the left, Messi on the right, and then Suarez as striker.
I have a problem.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a problem with Company.
Okay.
He's great and all that, but Ward 11 for the past 10 years, I don't know. I think there are probably better suitors. But Company, I can argue that. He's great.
Okay.
I'm just iffy about it a little bit, but it's
fair.
not bad. It's not bad. It's a strong Ward 11 for the past 10 years.
What about Derek?
No comments.
You like it? Good.
I think it's a pretty solid team. Yeah, I love it.
I have a comment.
And I'll talk about why I X'd Dani Alves and brought somebody else in when it gets to my. Yeah.
No,
so can I go now?
I love Derek's pick. Honestly, it was close, but I had those two players. But Derek, go ahead.
You want me to go? Or
Oh,
Derek?
actually, Yaga, you go.
Yeah.
All right. So number one, I can, Manuel Neuer. Come on, we cannot do that. He was close to winning the world best player, so definitely. Then right back, Dani Alves. Philip Lahm was close.
Yeah.
Philip Lahm was close, but I had to go with Dani Alves. Sergio Ramos and Giorgio Chiellini. I had to put Chiellini in there because that guy is just he's just different. He's a fighter. He's a warrior. He's just everything.
Yeah.
And then left back Marcelo. And then have three midfield. I don't know. I went with Toni Kroos because that guy is ever since he started he featured in I think under 20 or so World Cup. He's always been a top player. Leverkusen, Bayern Munich to Madrid. He's always been a difference maker. Germany national team, the World Cup. He was one of their best players. He's just everything. Modric, you can't deny. I mean, for the past 10 years, he's the only player that has displaced Ronaldo and Messi in Ballon d'Or. Though we all know what happened, but then he has it. He's the world best, so I can't take him out. I mean, Andres Iniesta, come on, man. You have to have it. Like, I wanted to include David Silva because I rate that guy, but I don't see Silva over Iniesta. I don't see that. And then my front three was the same thing that Jeff had. Messi, Ronaldo, those are already, and then I had Luis Suarez. I wanted to go with Lewandowski.
Yeah.
But then my only problem with Lewandowski is because, like, when you really need him in top moments, he seems not to show up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody has anything against that, but I think anytime Bayern needs him, or probably when he was at Dortmund, he didn't turn up, and that's my only problem. And I went with Luis Suarez. That's my 1-11.
I have only one thing, and
can you go over the team again, please?
My team: Manuel Neuer, Alves, Ramos, Chiellini, Giorgio Chiellini, Marcelo, Toni Kroos, Modric, Iniesta, Ronaldo, Messi, Suarez.
My only rebuttal is I'm not sure about Kroos.
Really?
Because the reason why I say that, no, listen, you can't go wrong with none of these players.
Toni Kroos,
but I just think that I have not seen Toni Kroos do anything that I've not seen before. Yaya Toure has done things as a player that I have not seen a lot. That's the only reason why I've seen players do what Toni Kroos does. Modric does that. Iniesta can do that. But I just haven't seen it. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a player that's like, whoa, I haven't seen that. Chiellini over Company, I think I'll give you that. But Kroos is the only one that I'm like, I think there's other better players that you can go.
Better players than Kroos?
I kind of agree with Jeff on that, on Kroos. Like he said, I mean, he probably couldn't have said any better than he did. There are a lot of things that he does as a midfielder that I think there are other people who could do similar.
Yeah,
for the past 10 years?
Yeah,
for the last 10 years. And you know what was the breaking point for me with Kroos? In the last World Cup, that was the breaking point for me.
The whole German squad wasn't good, first of all.
Like, he had no...
The whole German squad wasn't good.
Team around, like, they were flat and he was flat. Like, it made me know that he can't even stand out when there's a problem. And so
Come on, one World Cup over the past 10 years. Come on, really. How about 2014 in Brazil? How about that? How about 2014? He was the best player in the German squad. How about that?
No, I don't have a problem with that, but if you're talking about a decade, you need consistency, bro. That World Cup...
So wait. So wait.
Why how come every time as soon as we're critiquing Yaga, he has so many problems?
No, I don't like to say. No. I'm trying to understand. Listen, in the past decade, it's only been, 3 World Cups, right? From 2010 till now, right?
Yeah.
And the dude has won one. He was the best player arguably the best player in the German squad. The fact that German didn't do good, the whole team wasn't good. The whole German team wasn't good.
And he's saying that his leadership wasn't a.
It wasn't
Wasn't
there.
there for him.
You must not take Amononua too.
No,
You
because
must not
the
take
reason.
Amononua.
No, but it goes beyond that. You know, like the things
I get it. No
the
problem.
things that Neuer is doing as a goalie, I haven't seen it
Exactly.
before.
That's my thing.
You know, that's the thing.
All right.
You know, so I don't know about Cruz.
You want to go last? Derek, you go.
I'll go.
Oh, my turn now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know y'all are going to have some problems with some of my players, but so I'm going to go for Ter Stegen as my goalie. Even though Neuer is undoubtedly the best, with the team dynamics and why I selected my team, I feel like he's the best fit in that team, and I'll tell you guys why. The formation I went for was a 4-4-2. My defense had Marcelo on left back. Nothing to say about that. I had Lamb on the right back. The only reason why I did not choose Dani Alves over Lamb is because I have Marcelo in my team. I don't need two aggressive left back and right back in my team. I need some.
I see your criteria is actually putting together a team to actually go play. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. I needed somebody that's dependable, and it just made me not really want to take Dani Alves, but I mean, he can fit there, you know, on any day.
Ramos not a bad choice either.
Ramos a center back, and another person that I chose, which is going to be very controversial, was Van Dijk. I put Van Dijk as my, and I did that also because of the type of player that Ramos is. If I'm putting together my 11 and I have Ramos, I cannot put another very aggressive and
so
sometimes
Van Dijk doesn't make your team of the Premier League.
In EPL, but then
EPL,
that's what I'm about to say.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. There are different reasons for the choices that I made. For the EPL, I didn't think he quite fit there because I went with my heart for Terry, and I couldn't take him.
You're putting together a team to actually go play instead of
exactly. Like my top 11. If I was supposed to put an 11 team, like my best 11 to play a game, that would be
this decade.
For this decade, I'm going to put him in there.
Okay.
And so that's it for my back four. My four in the midfield, obvious, Modric, Iniesta, Cristiano Ronaldo on the left, Messi on the right. And I don't have to go into that with these players. And then I put Lewandowski and Luis Suarez as my two forwards for this team. And the reason I did that is if I look at the dynamics of my game, if I'm able to have Modric and Iniesta, who are very dependable in the middle, and have Messi and Ronaldo do all the, damage on the wings, then most likely it's going to be a failed day for Lewandowski and Luis Suarez.
That midfield will be overrun because none of them can defend. Midfield cannot defend for one.
Yeah, but of course.
Wait, Modric can't defend?
No, man.
Modric can't?
Derek, you have Ronaldo and Messi.
Uh-huh.
That are playing. You basically have four strikers, bro.
Who better leak you off?
You have Iniesta and Modric.
So the 4-4-2.
5-for-7 Modric.
So the 4-4-2 is not gonna have my left winger and my right winger all the way at the top because that's gonna give you.
Yeah, but Ronaldo won't play left mid. He wants to score goals. Messi won't play right midfield.
Yeah, that's why I have that's why I have two midfielders there.
Those two midfielders are not defensive midfielders. They're attacking. Team now, Massa.
They stand from. I mean, no, I can't go wrong. Because listen. The type of
why are you not focusing on
the type of players you have will definitely hold the ball a lot. So I don't think you would have to defend that much.
What about tiki-taka? Oh, God.
Yeah. So, I think it's a pretty good squad.
So that's my squad, yeah.
Okay, go ahead. My only issue.
This is the team that could potentially go very wrong practically, if I'm being honest with you. Based on some of the points that you guys have made. But I think that with the right way of playing and then the right setup, it could be a fire team.
Probably just their presence will scale up other teams.
No, they're just their presence. They won't fight for every game. Or
no, it's a good squad. I mean, I just feel like you need that holding midfielder, but
somebody. And Ronaldo and Messi are not gonna play. So you expect Ronaldo and Messi to go? Ronaldo go slap you and be like, "Do I look like a?" I mean, what do you think?
But that's a strong. I like it. I think I like it.
I like the team if they're not playing.
Goalie, though.
I love the team. But Derek's criteria. See, that's the thing. If Derek's criteria is how many the team that's gonna go out and play. It's a terrible. I don't think it works. But as a team of the decade, I think it's an excellent team.
Yeah, they deserve to be in there.
It's an excellent team. But to go out and play, like you said, and because then if you say to go out and play, you can have Van Dijk here. But if you're saying the team itself, Van Dijk shouldn't be in there. But Evan, what do you think?
I agree with most of his pick. I just had a question about goalie though. Like,
yeah, Ter Stegen. Yes.
But you know, I was about to say this. He can't listen, after Manuel Neuer's injury and all that, he can't even still take him out of the German national squad. That says a lot, right? But he's a great goalkeeper.
But Neuer is like a class above, everybody else.
Yeah. Now he's not a bad goalkeeper. He's a great goalkeeper. So definitely, I mean, because we can't all have Manuel Neuer in our team, right? I had him in my team. So I mean, I think he's a good shuffle. So it's all good. Evan. What's your team, bro?
Yo. All right, for me, it was really hard to pick like for goalie. Mm-hmm. So I was debating between Buffon and Allison, but I went with Buffon.
Who?
Buffon and Allison. I went with Buffon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we can argue that.
I don't have to explain anything, so I went with Buffon. And then for defense, I have Dani Alves, I have Marcelo, I have Sergio Ramos, and Koulibaly.
What?
Koulibaly?
Yes, I have Koulibaly in my back. Yeah. And then,
Napoli Koulibaly.
Yeah. So even when he was at Genk, you still have him in there.
It don't matter. I mean, I have him. I mean,
he's not a bad choice. He's
an excellent player. I love him at Chelsea.
Yeah, so I have Koulibaly on my team.
I like that. And what else?
And then midfield, I have Conte, I have Kevin De Bruyne, I have Bernardo Silva, and then up front I have.
Wait.
In the entire world?
Yeah.
Wait. You said
say that again. Silva? Say that again.
Yeah, I have Conte.
Mm-hmm.
I have Kevin De Bruyne. And I have
Bernardo Silva.
Yep.
Wow. Why didn't you have? Okay. When you're done, I'll say what I want to say.
Yeah.
And what else?
And then up front, I have obvious who else? CR7. I have Messi, and then my striker will be Aguero.
Can I go? Can I say something?
Yes, start please.
But so I'm a little bit confused. How come you have Bernardo Silva in your World 11? You don't have him in the Premier League 11?
Because again, the Premier League 11, my criteria for that one was looking at the players from a long period of time, not just like right now, as to what you're doing in the league. The World 11, obviously, the players, some players that I had in my EPO 11, they're retired, they're not playing football anymore. And that wouldn't make sense to have them in my World 11. So, no.
I mean, Bernardo Silva is an excellent player. But then over Modric, over Iniesta, that's your pick. That's your pick. Yeah. I respect it.
I hate it.
Why you hate it? Tell me why.
I hate Bernardo Silva saying, "Come on, bro." Bernardo Silva, what?
Bernardo Silva.
Huh?
Why wouldn't you like Bernardo Silva?
Because come on, man. How many years has this guy been elite? Where you put him in a decade? You think he's a better player than Iniesta?
Absolutely not. But
you think he's a better player than Modric?
I would argue that.
Come on, man.
No, Evan. No.
Evan, I'm gonna have to cut that point out. I don't want abuse coming your way, bro.
You argue the fact that Bernardo Silva is better than Modric?
Potentially, he has the potential to be better than him.
What potential? We're talking about this year. I don't care how good he's going to be in 5 years.
In the next 5 years.
That is the reason why he's in my team of the decade, because I see him being better than Modric in the years to come. And
so then why would you want to do it next decade?
And then we're talking about this decade. This criteria that you have is like all over the place. I think Derek was the one defending you. Derek, can you defend this? Because I'm
man.
I can't defend you on this one.
Yo, you know what I think? I think Evan does these, like, he does these things on purpose. He just wants us to talk about something.
I think you were
why would you include that Bernardo Silva?
But why not Bernardo Silva though? Like, that's my question. Why not Bernardo Silva?
Because we just told you he's not a. Even if he was better, he's only had like 2 years where he's been elite.
It will be the same argument that you're saying Van Dijk has been having 2 years to be in the league.
Yeah, but you know why? Because Van Dijk actually has a point.
But listen,
there's no point where you can tell me
you guys were saying that, okay, when you guys made an argument about Cruz, I understand that. And I'm like, okay, cool. You guys are making sense because we've all seen what Toni Cruz could do, and then other players do the same thing.
Yeah.
I just want to tell me that the reason why, if you have Van Dijk in your team, I wouldn't argue is because what he's done in this past 18 months, no, I don't know any defender that has done that in a long time. Okay? But then Bernardo Silva, come on, I can mention a lot of players that are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I can mention the same argument for Toni Cruz. But again, Van Dijk.
Like, how can you have Bernardo Silva if you're gonna go with that route? He's not even the best midfielder in his own team. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Best midfielder in his own team. But again, this is me thinking that my team that's going to play the game, right? This is what I want.
That's what he wants. I get it, but we
okay, that's what you want. I think the whole criteria is just Jack, because I don't know if
you gotta like outline things like, yo.
Nah, but Evan,
come on, bro. You're the only one who went left with this. Both teams.
When you made your argument, right? When you made your argument for EPL, I'm like, okay, cool. But this one, you don't need any criteria, bro. Bernardo Silva is out of it.
I mean, honestly, with Bernardo Silva, the only thing I would say about him is there's nothing about him that I can't list 3-4 players that can do better than he does.
Exactly.
More than 4 players.
More than
4 players.
You know, because, like from what Yaga said, Van Dijk, yes, he hasn't played long, but if you take him out as a player, like the things he has done, very few people have actually done anything close to that. So maybe we can let that pass. But with Bernardo Silva, like, there are a ton of players that could come before him.
And the funny thing is, at this point, Mahrez is probably going to take him out of the team because Mahrez played exceptionally well. I'm serious. No. Because now Mahrez...
There's a chance, yeah.
So he could be actually out of the team. But Van Dijk, when you take that player out of Liverpool,
it's dead.
Nothing, bro.
Yeah, the team is dead, yeah.
That's what we're talking about. That's how come he was able to get to that level of competing with Messi and Ronaldo for the world best. Because what he's doing, nobody has seen.
If you had said this year, I swear, if you had said this year, I was all for you. Because he has been excellent this year.
And we all know.
We all know how excellent he's been. But for the decade,
we all know how
sorry,
defenders and midfielders don't get a note. For him to actually be the second best player, come on, man. He actually won the European Player of the Year, and then, come on, I don't know. But that's his team.
Yeah.
And he wants Bernardo Silva in.
He gets it.
I don't know about that. Cochito.
All right. So, yeah, guys, that's our team of the decade for the EPL. It's a lot of disagreements. Team of the decade for the world. It's a lot of disagreements, but everybody has their own criteria of picking teams. Everybody has their own ideas. Everybody has their own team that is going to win them the game or whatnot. So, it's been a very long episode. So a part 1, and I think I'm going to make this a part 2 because I'm going to split it into 2. So from me, from Derek, Mr. Experience, from Yaga, Mr. More Experience.
Zuma, Mr. Zuma.
And then from Ibn, thank you guys for watching. This has been a great episode. I think it's a lot of insight from you guys.
Yeah,
so, Make sure you subscribe. Also, I'll have the subscribe link down there. And see you guys in the next episode. Have Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever you celebrate, Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or whatever. It's happy holidays. And our next episode will probably be in 2020. So be on the lookout for that. So thank you guys for watching. Peace.
Yeah.